Hey guys, Courtney Epps here for another episode of What's Your Plan B and Why You Would Be Brain Dead Not to Own a Home-Based Business. And I've got Martha here with me today. And Martha, if you would just share with everyone, I'm so excited that you're here and you're just like a light, like a bright light. So I had to share that. But, I'm super excited, but I just want you to share with the audience just how long you've been involved in network marketing, what brought you to network marketing, what you did before, and just kind of give us a little background about you.
Oh, 100%. I love it. First of all, I adore you. You are one of my favorite peeps. So, for network marketing, strangely enough, I have been in it for about a year and a half now. I am a person who is a skeptic turned disciple of network marketing, right? I come from a background of business strategy and digital marketing. And so, whenever I saw friends that were doing network marketing, I would look at them like, that's adorable. That's really cute. Now I, in the meantime, am pushing a boulder up a hill for startups and doing all of this hard, heavy lifting. I'm doing all this hard work. And you know how we turn hard work into like a medal of honor. And we're just like, all of this work means that I'm doing something really good. Well, what I found out is whenever I started network marketing, I actually just started it because of a product, not to actually run the business. But the product I just loved so much that whenever I saw there was a compensation plan attached, I was like, I'd be a dum-dum not to do this because I'm talking about it anyway. Like, why on earth? And so then I was like, fine, I'm going to do this thing. And then I started doing it. And what I found out is that network marketing is not just an income stream or not just a business, that network marketing is personal development on steroids. It's forced personal development. And it's also the place that I have found probably relationships that are going to last my entire life. And they're real solid relationships based on who I actually am and who the other people actually are. There's no fronts. There's no people faking stuff or whatever. Like, it's just real people doing real stuff and being able to bless their families and their communities and their circles alongside it. So that's my network. And the story everybody loves is I hit a rank within my own company that typically takes 4 to 5 years in 6 months. So that's like where everybody's like, oh, Martha,
She's so great. And and that's awesome. And one of the great things about, I think, the network marketing space as well is that it actually rewards you and congratulates you for doing good. Like, I don't get awards over here in my accounting practice. I was telling my staff a few minutes ago, I'm like, I've got to go do an interview. And they're like, well, good luck on the job offer. And I'm like, you understand, like, I'm not employable. Like, you can't hire me. But, one of the things that you don't receive when you're in the real business world, like, and most people believe that, like, I'm in the real business world, like I'm in the stressful, hectic, got to have employees, got to have brick and mortar locations, all those things. And a lot of people see those as, that's more sustainable, that's more secure. Like, it's not. And, and you don't get any rewards. Like, I've got to go to a Tony Robbins event and spend $85,000 a year to be a platinum partner to get any sort of personal growth and development. It doesn't exist in what I consider to be the brick and mortar, like, traditional business. And that's what I love about network marketing.
Yes. Oh, 100%. It's every day that you wake up, you're being developed because you're answering questions, you're handling people's fears, yes. Right? And whenever you handle people's fears, what you're doing is you're really seeing their soul open up to you in a way that it's so fantastic to be able to have relationships with people on just this. It's like like a core level, right? It's just fantastic. And the personal development that comes along with that is everybody growing with each other. Like, somebody has an aha moment. Well, they state it. Okay, well, there's their aha moment. Okay, well, from that, I gleaned X, Y, and Z. And then it's a ripple effect that happens at that point. And then we're all like happy dancing with our with our personal dev, right?
I love it. And so you have a 5-year-old.
I do. Yes.
And girl or boy?
She's a girl. Yeah.
And I know you have a dog.
I do.
And a husband, right?
Yes.
That's awesome. And so does he work?
He does in the business. So awesome. Yeah, he does my video. He makes everything pretty, which is so funny because I just sit in front of the camera and I talk. Mike makes everything pretty, and he also makes everything he makes everything work so I can come and sit in front of the camera and talk. So he watches Nora, or he is, he cooking or doing laundry or whatever. He does all of the other things, so I'm able to do this stuff. It's a fantastic partnership.
That's the same situation that me and my husband have. So, I mean, we've had that for the last 9 years, and it's been amazing to be able to be with our 6 children. And honestly, we built our accounting practice from home up until September of last year. And code enforcement knocked on my door one day and said, you cannot have 13 employees working out of your house. And I'm like, that's not fair. I don't want to leave. I did not want to leave. And that's the one thing I focus on now is the faster I can get out of this office, the better, because I know what I was put on this earth to do. And that is not necessarily doing tax returns, is sharing and helping people. And I can't do that fully to a massive scale if I'm sitting here working every single day. So I have to work on my business instead of in the business, which I'm sure, you have learned that. It's I think there's this place in network marketing sometimes where a lot of people are managing a business, but they're not really growing their business. And so do you love working with your husband? Do y'all fight sometimes? Is it a crazy, tell me about it.
Yeah. Well, we've had therapy, right? It works well now. Yeah. There were times where we had to find our boundaries. We had to find where the fence was. And I think that's with everybody's relationship, but especially when you work so closely all the time, because whenever you're working from home, you're legit together all the time. And we love it at this point, but there were times where it was man, can we go to different rooms? Maybe can I be sequestered somewhere? But I love it. It's checks and balances, and it's very real feedback that needs to happen, because nobody is going to give you that good, clear, honest feedback quite like that husband's going to do, right? Where he's I don't know if you should, and it's not going to feel good. And you're going to want to kick back against it because it's, well, I know what I'm talking about and da-da-da-da, right? But I mean, if we quiet down a bit and see their perspective, just the way we would see anybody else's perspective, that's the thing that's hard with a husband, right? Because they're so close to us that it's almost like they are us. Yeah. So then it's I can't allow him the same grace that I would allow somebody else completely out of my family, right? Yeah. But yeah, whenever you can quiet down and actually think what they were saying, okay, well, I can see that. All right, fine. Let's go ahead and look at it this way or whatever. But that's, again, personal development, working with your spouse.
It definitely, it's definitely tough at times. And you obviously say things to your spouse that you wouldn't say to other people who worked for you. So it definitely makes a difference. So tell me, did both of you have jobs before? Did you have businesses before network marketing? How did that work?
Yeah, lots. We've had a number of businesses that led us up to where we are now. There was a dog walking business at one point. We actually still have some customers because they won't let us stop. But now we're moving to Florida, so they have to let us stop. Yeah. Can't do that anymore. So there's that. We had an animal, a shelter animal magazine at one point, and it was to basically do profiles and highlight the shelter animals in the area, so people could see a story along with the animal, and then they could get adopted. And it worked really well, but we flatlined on profit. So it was a lot of energy going into it, but we couldn't make it work financially. Yeah, so far as jobs are concerned, I used to work at GoDaddy, and worked there for about 5 years in leadership. And that's where I got a lot of development, just understanding the internet, first of all, but then understanding how to work with people. And also you learn how not to work with people,
Yes.
right? And things that I'm okay with doing, and things that I didn't feel ethically in alignment with. And I'm not going to say anything specific. It doesn't matter. It's probably not even a thing anymore, but it was one of the reasons that I actually quit corporate America, was to get into a place where I could personally say, you know what, for my own clients, you know, I feel like you're right here. Let me go ahead and do this for you. But I wasn't able to do that there because it wasn't my company, right? I couldn't make those judgment calls. Also, for any moms that are watching, the actual point at which I quit GoDaddy was a day that I was sitting at my desk. I couldn't use any time anymore because I was a mom, right? You're always taking time off. And I got a video message to me, and I couldn't look at my phone because I was on the floor as a call center, yada, yada. I had to go to the bathroom to look at this video, went in the bathroom to watch the video, and I kid you not, it was my daughter taking her first steps.
Wow.
And everything stopped. Like my world went black, you know, like you just get this tunnel vision. And I think we have different points in our lives where we're brought the question, or the question is brought up, is this something that, do you want this to continue? Is this something that, because this is a microcosm, it's going to come back around and it's going to come back around. Are you okay with missing these things in her life? And by that next weekend, I talked to my husband and was like, we need to start our own agency, because I have to work from home. I can't be missing things like this. I choose not to. And he, who usually is the guy that holds the string to my balloon, he's like the anchor, right? He was like, yeah, if you don't do it, you're completely doing everybody a disservice. So that was a point. So I just, like, to anybody that's watching this that may have had those moments that are like, oh, I don't want to keep missing these things. I don't want to keep missing these things. I strongly challenge you to find some sort of home-based something to be able to work from home, because the way I feel, it's just not natural for us to be away from our families that much. It's just not natural. So yeah, I'll stop talking.
It's not. No, and you're exactly right. You know, one of the things that just tax wise, and guys, because some people on here may be thinking like, there's no way possible that I could, you know, stay at home with my family. And, you know, we have to have the second income. So I want to give you a scenario of a relationship that I had, a client that came in last year. One client made $85,000 a year. It was a husband and wife, and one made 85, one made 55. And they came to me because both had gotten new jobs, and they had taken a $35,000 pay increase. And they wanted to know how much money it was going to actually cost them in taxes, so they'd make sure that they were taken care of for tax time and didn't get hit with a big bill. And so we determined that of the $35,000, they were only bringing home $13,000 of that. And it was costing them $22,000 extra in taxes to bring home the 30, or to have the 35, to make that. And so while they were there, I said, you know what, let me just figure it, because I don't typically do that. Like, I don't go out of my way and figure how much money someone's going to pay in taxes and, you know, make these scenarios. It's just like, because I have too many live experiences. And I said, you know what? We took the $55,000 a year paycheck. I said, what if we took that away and just kept the 85? And what we determined is the $55,000 was only generating an additional $1,800 a month, or $21,000 a year in take-home pay, because they were paying an additional $34,000 in taxes because the wife was working. And guys, when you understand that and you see that and you're like, oh my God, you know, I think I'm doing what's best for my family. So you may be sitting here like, why am I broke? You know, I'm doing a video on that shortly. So I wrote it down today. I'm like, why am I broke? And how do you fix the problem? Well, so here's what I told them. The family, they would be better off if one of them stayed at home, specifically the wife, she was ready to have children. So, and she had a couple things she wanted to do on the side. And I said, you would be better off making $1,000 a month in any network marketing business whatsoever. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it looks like for you, product-based, service-based. I don't care if you just share the product and service and you never share the opportunity. It's irrelevant. If you just make an extra $1,000 a month, then you would now have access to between $20,000 and $25,000 worth of expenses per year that you're already spending money on, things like your meals and your mileage and your cell phone and business use of your home and your travel and internet, and all these things add up. And now you're not only making that $1,000 a month, but you're not paying taxes on any of it, because on paper you're showing a loss. And then the money that you did make, you still have that loss, and that offsets against your husband's income. So you're actually bringing home more money essentially than making $140,000 a year as W-2 employees. So you'd be better off with one person staying at home, one person going out and working a job, if that's what you need to do to provide for your family. But I would urge you to stop, and instead of focusing on how in the world don't I have enough money to provide for my family, figure out a way to find that, because taxes are number one. They're the number one expense in our lifetime, and we will pay more on taxes than we will on food, clothing, housing, and transportation combined. So, when you add all those things up, it's like when you can eliminate most of your taxes, like what you guys are doing, it is perfect. What me and my husband are doing, it is the perfect scenario. Now, I'm not saying that everybody could quit cold turkey and not work. My husband, it was a very big decision for us to be able to provide for our family and be able to work from home. And there were some tough years. I'm sure you had some tough years that you guys struggled, right?
Oh, 100%. Yes. That's when the therapy kicked in.
And the thing is that people talk about all the time, there's like money can't buy you happiness. Well, I tell you what cannot buy you happiness. Not having money will create such massive stress and destruction in your life, and things that don't even matter when you don't have money, or when you do have money, they become such big, huge hurdles when you don't have money. And it is the number one cause of divorce, right? So, at the end of the day, we get to spend time with our family. My children, actually, two of my boys and my husband are next door painting our conference room, because we have some interviews tomorrow. And, my daughter, my 18-year-old daughter, is right outside my door. She works across from me all day long, every day. She's she's going to school to be an accountant, and we're creating this legacy that we will leave to our children. And I think that's the most beneficial thing that you can possibly do in the network marketing space, is leave that legacy.
Oh, 100%. That's exactly the center. That's what I always talk about. That exact word is legacy, right? Because whenever we're growing our business and we're doing them in sort of the ways that we are, right? We're making choices. We're choosing to do this over that, right? Not necessarily what everybody has said is the right thing to do, but actually is working. So what I believe, what I love seeing is our kids seeing us in our freedom, making choices that are best for us and our families, and understanding that you don't have to do what somebody else says that you need to do. You can do what feels right to you, and you can take care of the people around you. And you can, whenever you bring money in, you bless other people with that. I saw something that you posted the other day about trafficking. That's something that's very near to my heart as well, especially in these days. That's like we can actually be able to support these different organizations that are making massive positive change in the world. But you guys, we can't do it if we don't have the money, right? That's we have to be able to do that.
Yes. And this, like, I just have to share this. So Katrina posted, oh my God, I'm crying because I missed all my kids first, everything. Then the company fired me after 14 years of missing my children's lives. And, I had a business about 10 years ago and I put it up for sale. I was dealing with some personal issues with a custody battle and with an ex-husband. And I made a bad decision, put my business up for sale, and the guy I sold it to stopped paying me after 4 months. And I was $250,000 in debt. I could not afford to file bankruptcy. And I had 3,500 clients that I didn't have access to anymore. But the only thing that really mattered at that point is that I'd put 3.5 years of my life working 100 hours a week away from my children. And when I was able to come back home, I remember a year later to the day, February 14th of 2012, I believe is the year, I sent a message to the guy that stopped paying me. And I told him that because of what he did, because he took that business away from me, he actually made me become such a better mom, because I realized the benefits of being able to be at home. Like, I didn't have the money at the time to rebuild my business back up and go get another office and build that. So I did it from home. And man, for 10 years, for an entire decade, I was there every time my children woke up. I was there every time they did anything. And, and you don't realize how much, just like she's saying, like, she didn't realize she missed those things. Yeah. And guys, that's what the network marketing industry allows, and the way I've built my business, which is great, I built it based off of network marketing principles, and I can work anywhere. Like, we bought a camper and we bought a new truck, and we just got 4 ATVs for our kids. And, we got a Suburban. So we're going to just travel all over the country in the more relaxing, less taxing travel trailer, / toy hauler. And I can work, and I can do tax strategy sessions. I can do interviews, and I can help people along the way and still run my business because the way that we build it. And the thing is that network marketing, what you guys have is it's turnkey. Like, you can build it anywhere you go under the sun. Like, it took me a long time to get to the point where I'm at. And with network marketing, like, you can do it in a split second. You have everything you need in order to build a business in a box and go out and just share that with people.
Yeah. I don't think that enough people truly understand that concept. And it's because they don't come from a business background first. But here's the deal is, do you by chance know the average of what a startup pays within the first year? I can't think of what it is right now, but it's astronomical.
Well, I do know this, that 96% of every business that ever starts, within 10 years, they're gone.
Yes. And they've probably lost their house too. Yeah. There's like, they spend so much money on brick and mortar. They spend money on licensing. They spend money on, insurance and then of course the widgets and the things that they have to have if it's retail. They spend money on marketing. They spend money on stuff all the time, like a ton. And if it's a franchise, you're spending money off top just in order to be able to use that name. Okay, you guys? So like, whenever you get into network marketing and you see a starter kit is $200,
yes,
let's put it in perspective. Right? That's $200 as opposed to likely $200,000 in 1 year. Like, that's a pretty lowball number, actually, whenever you're looking at the startup cost of a business in its first year, because it's a lot of stuff. I mean, website, you got so many things. But
startup. So I found it. It's $30,000. That is the minimum startup to just start any sort of business.
Oh, so that's not even the first year. That's just like turning the key. That's just I can put my name up on something, right? Exactly.
If you have if you have enough money to pay for the sign.
Right. You guys, 30 grand as opposed to whatever your starter kit is, right? Yeah. That's as long as you have it in you to just say, you don't have to be the smartest person on the planet. Nobody does. All you have to do is commit. You just have to say, I'm doing this thing. And then all of a sudden, everything is going to bow to you energetically. There are going to be things that are they just so happen. They're just like, oh, this thing just happened. And all of a sudden, all these coincidences start happening, right? And you're going to call it whatever you're going to call it, or you're going to call it nothing. And it makes no difference to me at all. But that's what happens when you commit to things. This is a flag in the ground, by the way. That is what I'm doing here. It's not a gavel. But yeah, that's that 30 grand as opposed to what? 200, 500 bucks, something like that as a starter kit. It's insane. Yeah.
And the cool part, so most people don't understand when we talk about business deductions, we're not telling you that you have to spend a lot of money in order to take advantage of business deductions. And the reason why that's important, guys, is that 46% of Americans don't have an extra $400 to their name. And those are statistics before the pandemic. And I'm sure they're much worse now because 40% of every person in the United States lost their job making under $40,000 a year during the pandemic. So super scary, but there's a way to fix the problem. So 69% of Americans didn't have an extra $1,000 to their name before the pandemic. So why are we taught to go to school, get good grades, and go get a good job when the system is broken? And you've got to understand, guys, that like, I'm not saying we've been led down this trail, but we have. Okay.
But we've been led down this trail.
We have. And, people don't realize that the way to create massive wealth is to literally make sure that you're paying the least amount in taxes possible. Because, I can give you a scenario. If I take $1 and I double that dollar every single year for the next 20 years, I would have $1 million in 20 years. But if I took that same dollar and I doubled it, but I took taxes out every single year, in 20 years, there'd be $23,000 there. Yet we're all taught we need some sort of 401k to sustain and make sure we're taken care of at retirement. But you create a relationship with you and the government where the government owns more of your money than you do the minute you decide to go into having a 401k. So I'm totally and adamantly against a lot of things that most people believe, I guess the status quo believe that you should have. So why is it important that we need to save money in taxes? Because there's no chance at getting ahead if you do not find a way to save money in taxes. And here's why. The average household in America makes $60,000 a year. You can go look this up. It's in my book a couple times. But they make $60,000 a year. They pay $14,000 in taxes on average. And what's left over is what's called take home. So a take home pay of $46,000. Here's the problem. The cost of living in America is $53,000 a year on average. If you live in Atlanta, it's $73,000 a year. If you live in Greenville, South Carolina, where I live, it's $63,000 a year. But on average, it's $53,000. You have a take home of $46,000. That means you're going in debt $70,000 a year to work 40 hours a week, 50 weeks a year to take 2 weeks paid vacation. And if you don't believe me, type in www.worlddebtclock.org. And you will see that every citizen in America, every man, woman, and child, not every taxpayer, every man, woman, and child is in debt right now on average of $70,000. And so we have to figure out a way to fix the system. Well, how do you fix the system? You have to figure out the rules of the system. And when you realize that taxes are a game and the only thing you need to know is the rules of how to save more money, you realize that the second tax system, there's 2 tax systems. There's one for the W-2 employee and there's one for the business owner. And the business owner tax system was created to provide wealth for us. And the reason why is because we're constantly selling. Like Martha is selling every single day, whether she's selling her product, whether she's selling her business opportunity. I am doing the exact same thing. I'm selling my services. I'm sharing with people why they need to go with me, why I'm the best tax strategist that there is, right? And the reason why we're selling that is because we believe in what we're offering, that it can truly change people's lives and help them massively. That's why we share that information. And because of that, we're generating economy. We're making more money. And then we in turn spend more money to grow our business, which are tax deductions. And then what's left over, we're creating jobs and we're putting money away for retirement. We're creating that legacy. And because we are creating jobs, Congress knows that we need massive tax benefits. Otherwise, there would be no jobs. There would be no money left over to hire people if we had to pay the same amount of taxes as a W-2 employee. So someone pays the taxes and the lion's share goes off to the W-2 employee. And when you understand that you have got to find, you've got to find a way to save money in taxes. How do we do that? You have to find some sort of home-based business. We don't care what that is. You just need one. And then once you find that home-based business, I preferably would tell you that the network marketing space is the place to do that. Because just like Martha said, it's like the personal growth and development, guys, is unmatched. The fact that people are willing to help you get to where they've gotten because they financially benefit from you. Like Martha, tell me, I don't know of any other industry or any other compensation that you can make money off of people by teaching them what you've learned.
Right. Yeah. Never. That's most people keep things so close to their chest, right? Because not in network marketing, but in other places, they don't want other people to do as well as they are. And in network marketing, it's like, oh, well, I not only do I want, I also need you to do well. So let me show you exactly what to do. Let me create resources for you. Let me make this the path of least resistance for you. I have created so many honking things for my own team, and I know leaders do it all the time. You create those things that you know work really well, right? And it's fantastic. I've never seen it in any other business, period.
And, as far as like, just tell me before, did you like quit cold turkey? Like, I know you quit GoDaddy, and were you involved in network marketing at that point in time? Or did you just make a decision like, I'm done, we're going to start a business? How did that process work? Because I know so many people are just so scared to just take a leap. And I'm not telling you it's right for everyone to walk away from your W-2 job. Obviously, it would save money in taxes to add the home-based business, but kind of what was your situation?
My situation is I actually started a digital marketing agency, and that was where I was for a while. And then I just got into network marketing because of the, like supplements. I'm a supplement girl. So I just got in because I was just going to be a product user. And then, like I said, I ended up loving the stuff, and I was like, fine, I'm going to go ahead and do this anyway. But it was alongside, and still is it's one of my income streams. So I teach many income streams. I'm a big fan of many eggs in many baskets, but it's, it's one of my income streams. And so I never did take like a massive leap to do it and nothing else. But even so, for people that are like, man, I'm just tired of doing what I'm doing right now, my suggestion would be to start, just start. You're going to have every business in the very beginning. It has a point of squeeze, like that point where it's almost like you're working your full-time job and then you're working this job, your network marketing gig alongside it. And you're right before you're able to jump off, you're going to feel a squeeze on time and on energy. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I could do this. And that's right before you crack through to be able to just jump and then do that entire thing. But do understand, if you're doing both, the squeeze will happen. So don't feel the squeeze and then be like, oh, this isn't going to work. The squeeze happens right before it's working. Just so you guys know.
And did your husband, was he totally on board when you started?
He was the guy who was searching YouTube videos and looking at different network marketing stuff. And he was like, Martha, I don't know, like this is, I don't think you can really make this money. And then a couple months into it, he's like, all right, So I'm seeing the paychecks. I'm seeing the money. All right, I'm a believer now. And then we won a trip to Hawaii. So we went there in January, and I think he was all right with that. So, but at first, no, he wasn't. But I just said, hey, listen, trust me. You just need to trust me on this.
Yes.
It's my time. If I'm wasting my time, then I'm wasting my time, and I'm choosing to do that. So that's just, you just got to trust me on this.
And I'm sure that you've had people that thought you were crazy. Like
100%.
And I think that's one of the things that pushes people away before they ever even attempt to get started. So do you have like a story of anyone that kind of like you knew, maybe you respected them and you knew that they were probably going to join you or not, but they were going to be for you and totally against you?
There's lots of people that think that I'm crazy. And I think that there are still lots of people. And what I call that is the 5%. There's always going to be 5% of your audience, and that's a scalable number, that are they just wish you'd shut up. You know, they're just, and they're loud. And I think that they paralyze a lot of people because they see them on social media talking on their things like network marketing is a pyramid scheme and blah, 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 right? And we're all just like, would you just shut up? And then so what you do, just so you guys know, if you see that comment off to the right, click on the 3 little dots and click on hide. For all that is good with the world, click on hide. They're going to wonder why nobody is responding to their comment, but really it's because nobody else sees it except for you, them, and any mutual connections that you guys have. So nobody cares. But there's always going to be the haters and the people that are not digging what you're doing. There's all sorts of, thank you. There's all sorts of, the people that I think hurt my feelings the most were family. Yes. And I think that's with everybody. It's going to be the people closest to us. And this goes along with you can't be a prophet in your hometown also. They're not going to see the same thing that you see. And I think an important thing to understand about that is what they're showing you at that point is they're only showing you their own limitations. They're not actually showing you your limitations. And God bless them. I think they're just trying to keep you safe whenever they say things like that. Because they couldn't do it. Okay. And that has nothing to do with you. But they feel like they're doing you a favor or, you know, like they're helping you out in some way. So my best advice whenever you run into those folks is just, thanks so much for your feedback. I appreciate your feedback so much. And then just move on with what you're doing and be confident in what you're doing. Because if you let those people into your head too much, you're not going to be able to serve the people that you actually are here to serve, in my opinion. Because I believe that we're all here to serve some people. I think that I think our people come to us once we actually decide that we're going to do a thing. All of a sudden, your people just start coming to you. But here's the thing: is if you freak out, get paralyzed, and stop what you're doing, then those people can't come to you. Yeah. So you have to just allow their opinions to be their opinions and not have anything at all to do with you.
Yes. And that's so true because, you know, and I talk about this all the time, you know, talking about the percentage that 46% of Americans don't have an extra $400 to their name. Yeah. What if you share with them a way? Because what I've found is that by having some sort of home-based business, you're guaranteed to save $4,000 to $8,000 a year in taxes. And so being equivalent to that, you would have to make around $9,000 to $13,000 in an increase in pay, which is $4.50 an hour to $6.50 an hour in a paycheck increase. You would have to make that much to just be equivalent to starting a home-based business and attempting to earn income. And what if someone shared with you that it was a scam and you stopped sharing that with people, and your best friend or your mom or your dad or, you know, your family member, someone you truly cared about, you could offer them a way that they could not only save $4,000 to $8,000 a year, a way that they could potentially make some extra money, that they could buy some products at wholesale as opposed to retail. And then also, if they're attempting to earn income, be able to take advantage of the tax deductions around that. And then think of the tens of thousands, if not millions of people's lives that could be potentially changed just by offering them that education. And so, when someone tells you that network marketing is not real, I have a good vision and a version that most people never get to see. As an accountant, we have clients who just got started in home-based business and aren't making any money, but they're getting massive tax benefits because they're attempting. And then we have clients who are making $24 million a year. And guys, let me explain to you, like, that opens you up to a whole world of it is possible. And the only difference between you and them is, one, it's time, a little bit of expertise, because Martha said, and I specifically heard that, is that she built relationships before she got into network marketing. So she had an advantage over some people who just got started. But the only difference between you and Martha is expertise, but you can learn that expertise and time. And you can truly condense time if you work with people who have already gotten to where you want to be. And that's the one great thing. Like, there's not an accountant out there. I'm one of my mentors is Sandy Botkin. And I don't know if you've ever heard of Sandy Botkin.
Oh, yeah.
But IRS attorney, CPA, and I learned so much from him. I mean, I can't pick up the phone and call Sandy and say, hey, Sandy, will you teach me everything you know so that I could steal all your content and then start sharing that with people? Like, it doesn't work that way. Network marketing, that's exactly what people want you to do, right?
Yes, absolutely. I give people, leaders do this all the time, but I give people daily checklists. Do this, do that, do this, do this, do this, right? Work it in 2 hours or less a day. You don't have to do all sorts of crazy stuff, but that's what leadership does everywhere. I mean, that's all that us as leaders are here to do, is to make everyone else's life easy, because it makes our life easier. But then it also drives down the need for one-on-one coaching and stuff like that, because whenever you get systems in place, then it's like you just do the things. It's black and white. Like, there's not questions, right? A system is basically the same thing. If you've got it broken down into I do this, do that, do this, do that, wash, rinse, repeat, then basically if you can cook a frozen pizza, you should be able to do this, right? So
I love it. Yeah, you're exactly right. And I can tell you this from experience. It is a whole lot easier to teach somebody how to do network marketing than it is to teach somebody how to prepare a tax return. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Or do bookkeeping, especially tax strategy. So, I mean, there's such a huge learning curve in a lot of different industries, and that's a great thing. So what I've gathered from today, one, is that network marketing is such a better way. If you can find something that you're passionate about, and there's every industry in the world that you can think of inside the network marketing industry, you can open up your mouth and share that with people. Not only can you meet amazing people, you get the personal growth and development that you so desperately need to become a better mom or a better dad or a better friend or a better spouse. You get all of those things. You become a better business owner. And through the expertise, as you continue to grow, your income continues to grow, because the more you grow, the more you provide value to this world, and people are willing to pay you more money. And at the end of the day, that's all network marketing is, guys. Is the reason why network marketing exists is because the products that are sold in that industry have to have some sort of education to go along with it. So you have to say why this product is better than this product, although they look on the shelf, they may look like the same product. And that's all we're doing. So, I'm not involved in network marketing. I love network marketing, as you can already tell. It is ingrained in me. But I have decided to step out of network marketing, and have for the last 2.5 years, to share the story of the tax advantages around it and how beneficial it is for you. But I think what I'm trying to get at here with these interviews is just to teach you that you may not be making money right now. You may have just gotten started, and you may have people that are telling you that this is not for you, or that, you're stupid. But this is the smartest decision that you could possibly ever make with your life. on a number of reasons. So, and what I'm doing is using real life stories. Martha, for instance, I didn't know Martha before Martha came on today, which is pretty awesome because I get to know people and I get to see and hear what brought them in, what, why are they still here? What are they doing differently? And at the end of the day, we're just sharing with you why this is the better way. So if you got any value from this, please share this. Please like it and share it. And Martha, I thank you so much for doing the, what's your plan B? Why you be brain dead, not doing a home-based business? And I'd love for you to share anything, like just to the audience, whether it be someone who's on the fence of network marketing, someone who's been in network marketing and just not doing anything. Just what are your last thoughts?
Oh man, if you've ever been, how do I say this? If you feel like you've been doing network marketing, if you started doing it and you loved it, but then you went through your 90-day phenomenon, which is basically you go through all your low-hanging fruit and then you need like a system and you weren't sure what, you didn't know what to do and you kind of hit a wall and you didn't know where to grow from there. My suggestion to you is to go back to the basics. And I know everybody says that and you're like, oh, really? Are you going to say that? But here's what I'm going to add on to that. My suggestion to you is to get very, very real about the products that you're providing. Are you in total and 100% alignment with what you're providing? If you are, then you need to put yourself, it's a Rocky and Bullwinkle situation. Most people put themselves, this won't take long. Most people put themselves on the sidecar of the motorcycle and they put their company on the regular motorcycle. Okay. What we need to do is we need to put ourselves on the motorcycle. Our company needs to be in the sidecar. Come with yourself first. Talk about what you love. Draw your people to you. And then, oh yeah, I use this, I use this, I use this. Don't come right at them with buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. It's a billboard and it's push marketing and people aren't digging it anymore, okay? Just make it secondary to who you are and you're going to start seeing success. I guarantee that.
I love it. I love it. So I appreciate you so much for being on here. I've listed a download for my book for free because I've got a new book coming out called What's Your Plan B? Why You Be Brain Dead Not on a Home-Based Business. And I just thank you so much, Martha, for sharing your story and background and why you love network marketing.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you having me.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.